The 2014 prep football season in Ventura County was surely a memorable one. So many unexpected turns and incredible contests with a multitude of memorable players. What a season it was. It was a pleasure to bring it to you here for the Ventura County Star and on the VCS Preps Game of the Week. And guess what? We get to do it one final time. Live from the Ventura College Sportsplex, it is the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game presented by the Ventura Downtown Lions Club. My name is Danny Page. With me, the Deuce, Derry Eads, live from the Sportsplex. Deuce, two solid rosters tonight. East meets West. We'll take you through it throughout the evening. It really should be an outstanding showcase for these seniors.
Really should. You know, we saw a lot of great football throughout the year. There's a number of guys that we didn't get a chance to see throughout the season at VCSpreps.com, but tonight gives us a chance to see them, as do the people who are watching this game streaming.
You know, one other person we didn't get to see much throughout the year was Joe Curley, and Joe is our mix of Tony Siragusa and Aaron Andrews on the sideline tonight. He has the football knowledge, he has the looks, he certainly has the brains. Mr. Curley, welcome to the broadcast team.
Hello, boys. Good to break up that twosome up there.
And what mix are you?
right. Joe, tell us what you have in store for us down on the sideline tonight. It looks like it's always a busy sideline for this game, isn't it?
Yeah, I have my eyes in the stands too, because this is always one of the coolest crowds of the night or the season, because you've got a mixed crowd from all over the county. But we've got Coach Fabricus from Newbury Park, Coach Henney from Trabuco Canyon, formerly known as the two-time CIF winning championship coach for Nordhoff.
He's the only Ventura County person to win a CIF title in 2014,
right.
Isn't he?
That's right. He's the 805's connection to still have a hold on one of those trophies. So we're going to we're efforting to get him. We got Coach Wager from Agora. This is all within a 10-foot span right here. I think if we wander around, it looks like several other luminaries on this sideline. Coach Gregorchuk, the former Rio Mesa coach. So a lot of big names down here so far.
Outside of yourself, Joe Curley on the sideline. We will speak to Joe throughout the game here. Back to kick for the East. They are in all white. They will move from right to left. Remember, the players wear their own school's helmet. Jose Miguel, the kicker from Moore Park, back deep to receive. This is what's special about the game. One Oxnard player, and if I'm not mistaken, one Pacifica player, right? The kick will be taken at the 10-yard line. Trying to work a wedge up to the 30 is Jashawn Lee. It was actually a Rio Mesa player and an Oxnard player, but still adversaries for 4 years, teammates tonight. 1st and 10. Derry for this West team, and we will take you through the starters offensively.
We get to see Aiden Salas.
Yeah, Aiden Salas, the starting quarterback for Pacifica in his 2 years as a starter in the county. We didn't see him once, Derry. He is a big boy, 6'3", 285, the signal caller.
He threw for 7,000 yards in his career.
Tyler Peralta had a tremendous career as well at Ventura High School. You know, Deuce, you didn't get that opportunity that we did to see Tyler Peralta in that semifinal game. He was outstanding yet again, and what an experience it was to watch that young man these last couple of years.
It really was, you know, just an outstanding young man. Great speed, great lateral direction, you know, just a really good eye, too.
Tyler Peralta, the back again with Salas. Salas will throw. That is completed. Up to Blake Burnett, the Buena Bulldog. First team All-Channel League. Blake Burnett had 11 catches in one game against Rio Mesa. Joe, I know that you covered Ventura quite a bit here throughout the 2014 season. We were at that semifinal, obviously. Tyler Peralta, tremendously talented running back.
Yeah, we had a really difficult time picking our all-county backfield.
Right.
I think we added running back positions just because it was such a strong year for the running back position in terms of the kid from Oxnard, Ventura, the smaller schools. Grace Brethren had a couple really great backs, so those are guys we can watch tonight. Actually, obviously not Caldera. He's still a junior.
Right, exactly. Caldera, a player who will really be talked about a lot going into next season now that John Mack is the new head football coach at Oxnard.
And that junior running back at Grace Brethren was pretty good, too.
We'll see a couple players from Grace tonight. Andre Bannister, another running back. Around the right side is Jay Sean Lee, and Lee's tackled after a 5-yard gain just beyond the original line of scrimmage after that fumbled exchange on first down. DeAndre Vines on the field from Pacifica. John McGill, the tight end from St. Bonaventure. Another senior along the offensive line, Edwin Vargas from Oxnard. Number 76, number 70, Patrick Dotsey from St. Bonaventure. His brother Vaughn, of course, went on to play at the next level. 3rd down and 10. Here's Solis to throw downfield for Vines. What a catch by DeAndre Vines. Finally run out of bounds just outside the 20-yard line. Tackle made on the play by Trenton Padilla and Jalen Harrison. DeAndre Vines beats his Lake adversaries. What a connection to Vines, Derry.
Well, I tell you what, that's Solis. Boy, he can really fling it out there. Got good wrist action.
Puts a lot of power behind the football. And the West is on the move here. But again, on 1st and 10, they'll be backed up 5 yards. On the most previous.
And he's got a really good touch. He just can't only fire it out there. He's got a really good touch for a big man.
That was a nice throw to DeAndre Vines right in between the corner and the safety. 1st down and 15. Vines checks back in. He had gone out for a moment for Justin Vela, a second-team Pacific View League wide receiver, running back, quarterback from Wainimi. He kind of did it all at Wainimi after Salas transferred to Pacifica. Salas drops back, 1st and 15, throws that little out route near side. That's complete to Blake Burnett. Burnett has his second grab. The West picks up 13 yards, 2nd and 2. They're throwing the ball well.
Well, that was really designed where the running back stopped in his path. He stopped, came back, and it was right there for him. Kind of an out route.
You're not going to see those timing routes really in a game like this because these are guys who've never played together before, especially with the case of, let's say, Salas and Burnett. Hand off to Peralta. Peralta cuts it back, dives forward. He has a good 5 yards. 1st and goal from the 8 for the West. A nice drive to start this game.
Really is. Combination of good runs by Peralta and really good throws from Aden Salas.
First drive we've seen of him in his 2 years as a starter here on the Game of the Week, Derry, and as you said, surely been impressed. Salas to drop and throw again. Fade route for Vines. DeAndre Vines, what a catch! He bobbled it, but eventually brought it down. Touchdown Pacifica. The Triton connection on time on the opening drive, and it's 6-0. West leads the East. What a play.
Salas was 4 for 4 for 60 yards on that drive.
Maybe we should have done a Pacifica.
Well, I know. Boy, I tell you what, that was tough choosing that week 10 of the season because doing that Oxnard Pacifica game was certainly an option, but then you had the Ventura Buena game, which was up for a league title too.
Right there, Johnny on the spot, or should we say Joey on the spot, for that fine touchdown catch. And by the way, PATs and field goals are just a formality. Joe, did you see that catch up close? It looked like a tremendous bobbling grab from Vines.
When Vines was healthy this year, he was one of the best players in the county, and to come out here, obviously with his coaching staff, they're probably running stuff similar to what they run every Friday night. So to come out here and have that kind of drive, it's got to feel pretty good to start the night like that. I'll go grab one of them right now. I'll be right back.
All right, Joe Curley, Joey on the spot, we'll call him. Oh, this is fun. A great game, by the way, guys. Send us your tweets. We'll read them live on air at VCS Preps. Joe and Lauren Ledeen, obviously. running the Twitter account tonight, John Catalini, back at the Ventura County Star. And wow, Derry, less than 4 minutes, 3-minute, 44-second drive. Mission accomplished for the West on the opening set of downs.
You know, usually these all-star games are like 24-21. Well, it looks like this one could be a wild scoring game.
Hopefully it's a bit more like the Pro Bowl, let's say, whereas it's always a high-scoring affair. The East will get a chance to answer, but not right now as Cooper Garcia blasts that out of the back of the end zone. And let's hand it down now to Joe Curley, who is with the recipient of that last touchdown, DeAndre Vines. Joe?
DeAndre, it's got to be, you feel a little more comfortable having your coaching staff here, running stuff that you guys run, to go down the field like that in the first drive. Tell me about that.
We just, coach subbed me out, and on second down, he put me back in. He's like, what do you want to run? I told him run the fade. He ran it, and we scored it.
Were they both similar plays, the big play down the field and then the touchdown play?
The exact same plays.
All right, there you go, Danny.
Just give him the ball and let him make a play.
Give him the ball, and they got points.
Wow, impressive DeAndre Vines. Holmes starting the game, and of course, Derry, I know you were away on your Central American vacation, but it was heartbreaking to see that Newbury Park game and that CIF final. I mean, they were just slowed by the rain in Paso Robles. The Holmes brothers couldn't do what they wanted. Daniel Prado couldn't do what they wanted. But when I look back at covering that team all year, it's one of my favorite teams I've ever covered.
It really is. Boy, when both Darnay and Derek were healthy, boy, they were just
Here's Andre Bannister. Speaking of unstoppable, Bannister is stopped on that play from Grace Brethren. Let's introduce you a little bit to this East team. A man we saw in our final call of the season. Davis Pinkston, the Simi Valley quarterback, gets the start under center tonight. Well, not really under center, but in the shotgun, we'll say. I don't think he's going to take too many snaps under center. Davis, of course, playing for the head coach of his greatest rival. On 3rd and 3, Derek Holmes set to the far side. Kevin Fly and the Royal staff coaching the East, by the way. Pinkston throws near side. That's complete to Sean Silliman from Oaks Christian. 5'11", 180-pounder. Silliman, not really a player we saw a lot from this year, but that's another thing that's exciting for us, Derry. There are sometimes quality players that fly a bit under the radar. We get a chance to see him in this game. Silliman might be one of those tonight.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of those guys. I'm still anxious to see kind of Pinkston set up and run the ball, because I'm sure the defenses aren't really haven't prepared for that. This guy is a great runner.
Pinkston throws to Darnay. Derek, excuse me, and it's going the other way is Bailey Rogers. And the Nordhoff Ranger, who played a big part in the CIF title a season ago, is running back to the near side. High fives his teammate, Ivan Uregi. Bailey Rogers with the big pick. And no less, I wonder, he must be excited to haul in that interception in front of his former head coach. I don't know. Let's ask him. Let's see what he has to say. Do you have him ready yet, Joe? We'll wait just a second. 1st and 10 for the West, though, as the East would be considered to be considerable favorites in this game, one would think. And here's a handoff to Peralta, and Peralta just taking down tacklers at will. He's down to the 7-yard line, but it was all set up by the interception for Bailey Rogers. Let's hand it down to Joe Curley, who is with the Nordhoff Rangers star. Joe.
Bailey, just tell me what you saw and how you came up with that big turnover to start this game.
I saw number 2, the wide receiver, do a quick slant. I looked back at 1, and there he is doing a curl, and amazing play by my corner. He attacked that curl and hit that ball up, and I just went up and grabbed it.
Breathtaking start for the West here. How about this? That we're so in game, the helmets are still on, Danny.
I know, absolutely brilliant. This is outstanding coverage. Big thanks to Bailey Rogers, and again, he gets to do it in front of his former head coach Tony Henney, who's on hand. The CIF champion from Trabuco Hills is here. 2nd and goal from the 4. Salas will work from the right hash. to the far side. That's Blake Burnett and Jacob Neri, slot receiver for Pacifica. Near side is Noah Martinez, as well as Vines. They wouldn't throw the fade to Vines again, would they? Look like a false start. You know, I'm actually happy to see that penalty. Back them up 5 yards. Maybe they will throw the fade to Vines again.
Well, that
DeAndre
is money
Vines.
in the bank, isn't it?
First team All-County. County Coaches Co-Receiver of the Year. 1,300 yards at the high school level, Derry. I mean, to average more than 100 yards a game at the high school level receiving, that's a big statistic. We just don't see that happen very much. Even the top receivers in Southern California.
And 2,000 for his career.
Wow.
In just 2 years.
In just 2 years. Salas moves over Peralta and gives it to TP. And he's stopped. 3rd and 7 upcoming now. The East has run all of 4 plays. West has had the ball the rest of the game in this opening half. Defensively for the East, we'll just pick out some names as we see them. Mark Scheid from Oaks Christian in there along the defensive line. Zach Kaiser. Reno Dubriel for Westlake, working the linebacker spot. And now Salas on 3rd down. We'll go to the opposite side. Blake Burnett, what a grab. He's in for the touchdown. Burnett was forced to dive to the opposite side. It was kind of an awkward dive, but he made the best of it. And the West leads 13-0.
That was a great reception. And they just isolated him on that left-hand side. That's basically, we've seen that pass before in the last series where they throw that kind of the out route.
Yeah, they like that out route on that side. They like the fade along the near side with Vines. And Aiden Salas, he throws a crisp ball, doesn't he?
He really does. With seemingly very little effort. I mean, it's just a nice motion.
Well, 14-0 at this point. And I think in this game, it's never a bad thing. It's frequently not a bad thing if one team gets out to an early lead. It brings the game to life. You know, we're not just duking it out 0-0 into the second quarter. Now there's a lot of pressure on Davis, Pinkston, and company to get things going.
Right. And I'm sure that we see the second quarter we'll have a new quarterback for the West, probably a new running back. Probably see Magana in there.
Absolutely. I wonder if we'll see Noah Martinez at quarterback. Is he going to play running back or wide receiver? I mean, he does it all offensively.
Could see Jaron Rogers, who hasn't really played at quarterback. And last year and the year before, he came in and did a great job when Constantine was injured.
I think it's just tremendous that Garen Rogers has been included in this game, obviously. He threw for more than 2,000 yards as a junior. He knew he was just filling in for Jake Constantine. I think all along he knew that. But he was still solid at the wide receiver position this year, and he was just an important part of exactly what has made Camarillo special these last couple of years, and that's the foundation built on just great kids.
Yep.
1st down and 10, and in just a moment we'll hand it down to Joe Curley, who's with Aiden Salas. Here's Daniel Prado now in at the quarterback spot. Prado forced to scramble, and Prado is taken down. It will be officially called a sack. Let's hand it down to Joe. Joe with the quarterback who's already got 2 touchdown tosses.
Yeah, we are the Aiden Salas, the quarterback of Pacifica High. It's right now we could say Pacifica 14, the rest of the county nothing. Just obviously you got your coaching staff, you got your star receiver. Just how comfortable have you been these first 2 drives?
It just feels great, like running our old offense and stuff, and it just gets stuck in my head, like right after, like All-Star game. I mean, I'm sorry. During practice and everything, it's just like everybody's been a family and everybody knows everything, so it's good. All the reads and all the wide receivers know what they're doing, and it's good. It's great.
And what about the season that the Tritons had this year? Obviously, you guys you're one of the big stories of the year with that great start.
It felt real good. I expected to go 10-0 with my boys because it's our senior year, but 9 straight wins is good too. And we just worked hard all off season in the summer. It was great.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you guys. Aiden Salas, outstanding quarterback from Pacifica. Real-time interviews down there with Joe Curley. The scribe doing his thing. Inside of 3 minutes now. 3rd and 11 for Daniel Prado. Logan Alexander from Simi is a near side wide receiver with Silliman. DeAndre Vines and Jay Dunham, the deep safeties. The southpaw, Prado, throws downfield for Derek Holmes, and he just loses it.
Boy, Holmes really was out there 5 yards past the defenders.
He was all on his own.
Just a hair over thumb.
And it looked like Holmes had started to move to the inside on the post, but Prado threw it to the outside shoulder. His brother Darnay, of course, we get to see him play for another 2 years. Dad, Derek Holmes Sr., played, of course, in the National Football League, and that should have been 6 points. Derek headed to Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Be interesting to see what he plays, because he's really a good defensive player, too.
I would see him winding up at the defensive back spot. Nice punt from Davis Pinkston. Here's the thing about Davis Pinkston. I'm not sure what his plans are for the future. He could even be a punter at the next level. That one goes 43 yards. And the West will go back to work. And I think you have to peer in and wonder who will be the starting quarterback
Well, see,
on this drive. It is
there's running back.
Yeah, it's Aiden Salas again. So, Derry, while the East is alternating starting quarterbacks per drive, maybe the West is going to alternate per quarter, as you initially suggested. Salas has Peralta with him. Motion man is the aforementioned Cookson, who gets it on the reverse. Cookson sweeping to the left side, and he picks up a couple yards.
You know, you can't tell right away when Prieto took over. The timing was different. He really kind of struggled to get the handoffs in a smooth transition the first 2 plays.
Well, you do practice all week, Derry, but the product that we see on Friday nights throughout the season, that's from months and years of working together. These guys only have a few hours together.
Well, but you work on cadence and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
The offensive line gets 3 series, and they've got to do with another quarterback three plays after that. Here, the West is doing it correct. It's been pretty smooth.
3rd down and 8, except for that play.
Except for that play.
When pass was thrown up to the near side, and Salas had a different play in mind than his wide receiver target did. I believe it was Dunham. 3rd down and 8. Salas has Burnett on the far side. Vines near side. He has both Cookson and Peralta in the backfield. There you go. The Bulldog and the Cougar sharing the backfield together. We can all get along, can't we? With a 14-0 lead. Salas play fake to throw again to Vines. And Vines has it knocked away. A nice defensive play from Jalen Harrison. First team All-County. Marmani League Defensive Back of the Year. Had 3 picks on the season. Makes the play there. That Westlake secondary was something to watch, wasn't it? I mean, we saw them in huge games against Mater Dei and Newbury Park. They were special to see.
They really were. You know, it was just remarkable what Westlake did against the talent base. And it's really tough going through that Pac-5.
And the thing you have to look at is what's next for Westlake, right? That's the big story this week, and we haven't even gotten into the week's huge stories as this punt trickles down inside the 30, gets a nice bounce as the East will take over at the 27-yard line. Big storylines involving teams from the East and the West. John Mack taking over at Oxnard, and Jim Bankert, after 26 years, Derry, moving from Westlake to Oaks Christian. You just don't see that sort of thing happening.
No, you really don't. It's just really unusual to see a guy from a public school go to a private school.
Especially one that's less than a mile away. What do you make of it? You covered Coach for a long, Coach Bankert. You know Coach Bankert.
It's, I think, the opportunity to be the head coach at Oaks Christian eventually. Well, I was kind of wondering when Pinkston was going to run the ball. Gains the Big Ten there.
Yeah, nice run from Pinkston. Interesting to see that Coach Benkert has moved on to Oaks Christian. We wish him the best of luck. Also, it'll be interesting to see who Westlake brings in as their new head coach as well. Obviously, a lot of rumors it would be Mike Lieben.
And not only that, but we've been seeing a whole bunch of tweets. There might be some Westlake guys who might transfer.
That certainly is a possibility, one would think. It is being considered, and I just have to say that while Jim Benkert was there covering that program, following that program, it was something special that he had for all those years. You think about all the championships, all the players he moved on to the next level, even guys that made it to the NFL, the band of brothers that he put together, obviously, when, over time a couple different Westlake players died in combat and wars in the Middle East. It was just a really special program over the years for us to follow in Ventura County.
I know it's the second year that I was here. 1999 was when they won a CIF title up there in San Luis Obispo. They had a tremendous team.
They did for so many years. One of the games I remember is shocking St. Bonaventure in the semifinals of the Northern Division playoffs, I want to say in 2009. And Nick Isham is injured. Justin Moore late in the CIF title game, a true freshman, shouldn't say true freshman, but freshman, leads his team to a CIF championship 14-10 win over Moore Park.
Tell you what, that 2003 team was one of the best in Ventura County history.
Blitz coming, and Pinkston just misses Ryan McGee. McGee reached a paw out, is incomplete. As you can see on your screen, 41 seconds left. We'll just be headed to the quarter break shortly. Maybe Joe will come up with an entertaining interview for us at the quarter. Roaming the sidelines, Joe Curley of the Ventura County Star. The East has yet to cross midfield in this game. Two Newberry Park Panther wideouts will be set near side. And Pinkston now drops back. Blitz coming. Pinkston gets by Mark Zavala. Will he get by the second one? Yes. The third as well. Pinkston beyond the 45.
What a great run that was.
I think he'll be marked down about a half yard short of the first down. 4th and 1. Why not go for it here? Huh? It's the All-Star game. They're not going to fire you. Jacob Litton from Rio Mesa checks in on the defensive line. Right next to him, Bobby Isaiah with the flowing locks. Brilliant hair.
They used to have a rule in this All-Star game that if you were behind by so many points, you always got the kickoff. Somebody had to kick off to you. So the team
I
that was
remember
winning,
that.
it was like maybe 17 points or something like that. 14.
I remember that. The East All-Stars just took a timeout. I'm a little curious why. They could have just let the quarter run out.
Well, they get an extra play.
They do get an extra play, but it's not halftime, is it?
No, it isn't.
Where's Joe down there? I see Joe. I think Joe will take us through this last play of the quarter. Joe is with coach who had such an incredible season here in 2014. The one, the only, Gary Fabricus from Newberry Park. Let's hand it off to Joe Curley, who's with Coach Fabricus. Joe? Joe's waving the microphone in the air, which I think means that he's probably needs to change the battery. You know, he's just learning this whole sideline reporter thing.
Well, that's one way to silence Joe Curley.
Yeah, it's
Give him
pretty,
bad batteries.
It's pretty difficult, man. He always has a lot to say, doesn't he?
He does. Maybe the best sideline reporter in Ventura County history.
He might be the only one.
Well, that takes away from the case. You know, he's definitely the best.
A big formation for Pinkston on 4th down and 1. Hands it off for a first down and more. Drew Moore, in fact, takes the ball beyond midfield, and the East has a first down, and that will bring the first quarter of play to a close. Your thoughts, Derry, on this opening stanza?
Well, what a great first half first quarter by Alvin Salas and DeAndre Vines. Two really great catches out there. And Mr. Peralta had a really good first quarter, too. He had 29 yards and 5 carries.
Yeah, Salas was really the difference, though, wasn't he? And
Really
for us, again, it's a player that we haven't had a chance to see. So it was pretty fun watching him do what he did on this drive, on those 2 drives, I should say. When we start the quarter, 1st and 10 for the East from the 47-yard line. Pinkston will continue. Still waiting on the IT department to help out Joe Curley down there.
Maybe did you teach him how to do the on and off switch?
Yeah, that sounds... Joe can tweet exceptionally, but when it comes to technology, he gets a little lost occasionally. On 1st down and 10, Pinkston will keep running left side. He's going to lose yardage. The initial hit came from Daniel Barboza, and Mark Zavala ends up making the play. Mark Zavala is someone that it'll be weird, Derry, not seeing him play nose tackle for St. Bonaventure. I mean, we've seen him at various spots on the defensive line and in the linebacking core since he was a freshman.
He really has had a sensational career for the Ceros. He's a guy that will really do well at the next level.
First team All-County Zavala, 15 sacks on the year. County coaches Defensive Lineman of the Year, Pinkston. Moving to the line of scrimmage, he throws, and that's caught by Derek Holmes. Derek has a first down, and you just can't bring him down, can you?
Nice 18-yard pass play. Set up by the great legs of Pinkston, who's able to escape to the right side and find Derek.
Yeah, he looked like Russell Wilson out there. You know, one thing I think with mobile quarterbacks these days, you have to have this sixth sense as to where the line of scrimmage is. You know, you have to know exactly where the sticks are so that you throw the ball just before. On 1st down and 10, Pinkston will run to the right side.
Oh, nice little stiff arm.
He's up there a couple yards.
Pushing.
Oh, yeah, a little pushing and shoving with Zavala. And we've seen this before in this game. Alex Rivera from Newbury Park, the player on the other side. And I believe Joe Curley is ready. No, he's not ready. That's enough. That's enough from you down there, director. Anthony, do you see him like walking back and forth? He can't figure out whether he's able to turn it on or not. I think he has it now. This is really entertaining. Now he dropped his papers. I hope you guys can see this outstanding.
And Fabricus is trying to get away from his
Fabricus is walking away. This is outstanding digital journalism at work. On to the left side from Andre Bannister.
Boy, he's got some good legs on him.
Yeah, Bannister is another player we didn't have a chance to see this year. He was the Frontier League Utility Player of the Year, 1,204 yards and 19 touchdowns. Tremendous year for Grace Brethren. He has a first down. Now we have Joe Curley, don't we, Joe? Did you solve the great conundrum when it comes to the wireless microphone?
Yeah, this thing's like a foreign object with
there
me,
he is. There he
I
is.
think the battery ran out, and I thought I was too far away, and I slammed it against the turf, and it worked.
Yeah, right. There we go. All right, Joe's with Coach Fabricus.
Yeah, we're
Joe.
with arguably the most successful coach in Ventura County this year. Obviously, a great year for the Panthers, and when you have a great year, you have a lot of players in this game. So, just tell us, you got a lot of guys, and just what are you watching when you're watching this game?
Actually, we're watching everybody. I mean, we have 6 kids in it, which is neat, but we know that the Simi Valley quarterback's a neat kid. The Royal running back is a neat kid. I'm more of an offensive-minded guy. So, obviously, the nickname for the quarterback from the west side, Buddha. He's looked good in the first 2 drives. He's put the ball right on the money. So it's just fun to watch high school football again.
And now you've had a couple months to digest just the great year you guys had. So, looking back on it, what was it like, that roller coaster ride and put the Panthers football back on top?
Well, we always talked about which comes first, the winning or the getting along, and our team really got along, and we were hoping that they would mesh, wins and loss wise, and they sure did. It was fun. Sometimes football can be a grind, and you get later in the year and it starts to look like you're getting tired of it, but week 12, week 13, they were still enjoying coming to practice and enjoyed being around, so we miss them.
Danny, really quick, obviously this is one we should probably mention. Arguably the best player in Ventura County this year is not here, so just give us something on Zach Oken. Obviously, he had a tremendous year. He was the first offensive lineman to be our player of the year, and just what was it like to coach him for 4 years?
Well, it was neat because Coach Smigel and I were lucky enough to go to the All-American Bowl in San Antonio, so we got to see him off, and he went right to Oregon.
There's your boy.
What a play right there, right in front of you guys.
Good effort, big man. He went right to Oregon straight from the All-American Bowl, which was neat. We got to have breakfast with him, and he played well against the big guys. And school started for him January 5th, so very exciting.
Sorry, Zach Oken, now a college football player.
Yeah, he was. Interesting that he was at Oregon on campus. His second week on campus. His future school is playing in the national championship game. Obviously a shame to see the Ducks fall to a lot of people on the West Coast. What an effort from Derek Holmes. Comes up just short, and now Drew Moore punches it in. Touchdown for the East. Touchdown Simi Valley. And a nice run, Deuce, from Drew Moore to punch it in.
Yeah, he had a couple of good runs on this drive. That big 9-yard run just to the inside the 20 really kind of helped set it up.
How about that play while Joe was doing the interview from Derek Holmes?
Wow.
How did they not give him the touchdown on that, I think,
Well,
tremendous play.
He was up in the air, wasn't he?
So looking back on Newbury Park and what Coach Fabricas had to say, kind of your reflections on the season for these Newbury Park Panthers?
Well, everybody saw right away that this team could be very good. The first couple of weeks, they were ranked number 1 in that
right away, yeah.
in the state bowl
setup,
and they had a couple losses, but hey, right to week 14, if they had beaten Paso Robles, they were going to a state regional bowl game.
Now, did you get a chance to go back and watch the stream of it or anything?
Yes, I did.
That was a really frustrating game to watch, wasn't it?
It really was.
It had been raining all day on the Central Coast. It didn't rain down here. Paso Robles Field was a mess at that point in the season, and I think Newbury Park only scored 10 points because the field really inhibited their ability to get out and do what they wanted. They just looked slow.
It really affects the teams with the great speed because then it takes away from their game.
And it took away in a big way from Newbury Park. It's unfortunate to see the season end like that, although I'll remember so many great games covering that team. The win over Agora, the blowout of Camarillo, the game against Westlake, the playoff game against St. Joseph Santa Maria, all games we had live for you all season long. The entertainment value was so high with that team.
Well, that game against Agora was just awesome. We had to throw for about 456 yards and 6 TDs in that game.
Yeah, and Darnay Holmes had more than 200 yards receiving.
Derek was pretty close. He was probably about 150 or something like that.
It was incredible. Really an incredible run for that team. And Zach Oken, such a big part of it, obviously. He's now playing football at Oregon. Maybe not playing football yet. Oregon's probably taking the week off to rest, I would say, Mark Helfrich and company after the loss in the championship game.
Well, I'm sure he's in the weight room.
It definitely is. Tell you what, Oregon could use that young man's physicality maybe going forward at the offensive line spot. Here's a handoff to Number 28, Noah Magana, making his first appearance of the game.
Jaron Rogers is the quarterback.
Young man from Camarillo. As a junior, filling in for the injured Jake Constantine, 165 and 225 for 2,193 yards through just 18 passes this year. But when you back up a star like Constantine, you might get a shot in a game like this. And he did. Here's a handoff to Magana. Noah Magana, the slippery back from Santa Paula, has it out to the 35.
It would have been really interesting to see what Noah Magana could have been if he was fully healthy.
Yeah, he really wasn't healthy all year, was
It's
he?
kind of like he missed almost half the season where he wasn't at full strength and still finished as the school's career rushing leader.
Magana is the back. Rogers throwing downfield for Burnett. And a fight side. Jake Hilliard from Thousand Oaks. 2 picks for the first team All Camino League defensive back. And he made a nice play there, Derry.
Really did. Really got up in the air. Ball was underthrown a little bit.
Had 369 rushing yards in one game, Noah Magana. That's a school record. He had 1,969, also a school record. I believe that was his junior year. And then followed that up to hit the career mark of 3,116. Rogers, downfield, for Vines, and DeAndre Vines.
It doesn't matter who throws the ball to Vines. He's going to get it.
Gets by Chucky Smith easily. It was Smith and Scheid defending Vines. 1st and 10 now inside the 20. Down to the 29-yard line, I should say. You know, at the top of the show, I should say right after that opening drive, that the chances are high that Joe interviews DeAndre Vines again, and I still feel that way. Little jet sweep near side for Lee. And Lee works his way down to the 23-yard line, the Rio Mesa man. Saw Bob Gregorchuk around here as well, former Rio Mesa head coach. Obviously the younger Bittner now leading the way for the Spartans.
I heard a lot of great things about Bittner this year.
Yeah, they certainly overachieved despite being unable to make the playoffs. They were really competitive down the stretch. They gave their non-league opponents a go throughout, and I think they're a team on the way up as Rogers takes a big hit in the Pacific View League. Does Oxnard immediately become the favorite to win the league title next year, though?
I think with Caldera as the running back.
Guard Mac even, right? I mean, Mac's going to have an impact. But if you have Caldera, that's huge.
You know, and if he could find or develop a quarterback from the JV just to kind of complement, take some of the pressure off of Caldera, then they're going to be good.
Timeout on the field from the East. 14-7 the score. I believe the East only has one timeout remaining. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in this second quarter of play. Garen Rogers took a shot on that play. The good news is that if there was an issue with any of the quarterbacks being hurt, there's 4 players who have experience at the quarterback position on this West roster. Justin Vela from Wainimi, obviously Rogers, Noah Martinez from Buena, who was forced into the quarterback position unexpectedly after the injury to Martin Mijares. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the second time in 3 years that's happened.
I was about ready to say, yeah, it sure was.
Is it just bad luck for Tim Gutierrez and the Bulldogs to have 2 quarterbacks seriously injured at the beginning of their seasons?
It's not bad luck when you got Noah Martinez.
Yeah, right. Or Kendrick Mathis. He was pretty solid back in the day. During this timeout, it gives us time to send it down to Joe Curley. Curley is with Mike Lieben, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Curley, where is he? I don't see him. Anyway, Joe, let's toss it down to you.
Danny, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Now we can't.
Yep, now we couldn't. We could hear you the whole time, Joe. Let's get the IT department down there. Ventura County Star IT. Here's a handoff to Magana, and Magana takes a big hit, but he gets down to the 7-yard line. All right, we're going to go back to Joe Curley. And Joe Curley is with Mike Lieben. Here he is. Joe, what's up, man? You got Coach Lieben, I believe. That's a no.
But we don't have Joe.
He's
got Lieben, but
he's
we don't
having
have
fun
Joe.
with this, man. 2nd down and 4.
Lieben's going to start walking too. Well, I tell you what, if there's any question whether Magana could play at this level, he's answered that.
Yeah, you think he can?
Oh, yeah. Well, he just has that great burst of speed.
Here's Lee. And a bit of a broken play. Rogers barrels his way down inside the 5-yard line. He's
That's gonna be
right
close.
at the sticks. I think it's a first down. Nope, they're going to say it's short, about 3rd and half a yard.
I think they're going to measure. That's darn close.
Still 3rd down, though, Derry.
Wow. Man.
And I think
I
he
would've
stopped. You would have thrown the ball?
I would have called for a measurement.
Right.
I thought it was that close.
Well, it is 4th down again now. And this would give the West a nice advantage, restore the 14-point lead. It's been a quality drive, and what will they do here on 4th and inches?
Well, gosh, they got. I don't understand why they don't measure, because that looks like it's a first.
It looks like it's right on the first down mark, basically. The ball is at about the 4 1/4 yard line.
How do you not measure that?
Well, Derry, they're going to sort it out on the field here. Magana is the back. Of course, Aiden Salas is now in at quarterback, 285 pounds. Let's see if he can pick it up.
Well,
And
I was drawing
somebody
offside.
jumped. That was going to be... It is encroachment against the defense. Great job from Salas.
They knew that there was going to be a
We'll
quarterback.
call it a hard count. I'm not sure if they're doing that in the
Well,
All-Star
they
game.
knew that he was going to quarterback sneak it. Now he's coming off.
And that's that, basically.
There's no fear, more fear into linebackers' eyes than to see that man right across from you, knowing that he was going to sneak it.
It's like what we saw with Cardale Jones in the championship game on Monday. I've never seen a quarterback run with the power that Jones did for Ohio State in the national title game.
What an amazing 3 games that young man had.
Oh, man, unreal. Noah Magana, unreal as well. Flies on into the end zone, touchdown for the West. That young man gets on the board for the first time tonight, and the lead pending a PAT will be restored to 21-7. Be restored to 14 points, I should say. Garrett Erickson's kick is up and good. The Camarillo kid blasts that through. And it's 21-7. All right. Now he's ready to roll. The one, the only Joe Curley is with
Out
Mike
here
Lieben.
with Coach Mike Lieben, Thousand Oaks High School. So obviously, well, he was telling me that this is a fun thing for him to coach. He wishes he was coaching this year. So you were the coach last year, right? Yeah. And then, so tell us what that experience is like and why you enjoy it so much.
Well, I just, working with all the kids from our end of the county, it was a great experience. We had a ton of fun doing it, and it's not stacked on top of your own spring practices, the old format we used to do in May. So it was, we had great participation. We had a great time coaching the kids, and, being able to coach ball in January is fun.
What about some of the kids that you have out here tonight? Who, what Lancers that should we watch for?
We got Ryan Pemberton Slot, Spencer Reed playing right tackle, Joseph Carbine playing on the offensive line. And on defense, we have Hillard playing corner and Harrison Brooks playing defensive end. So doing a good job representing Thousand Oaks.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike Lieben and Thousand Oaks certainly could have a big season next season. Max Gillum coming back for his senior year, of course. Really outstanding quarterback. Mike Lieben at Thousand Oaks. Of course, his name's been rumored about for the Westlake job. I'm not sure if that will happen necessarily. I think Coach Lieben has a lot coming back, really loves the TO program.
There's been several names in that Westlake
Rumor
pot.
mill?
Yeah.
What else have you heard? Jim Harbaugh.
Obviously one of the assistants. There's talk that maybe even Tony Henney might be interested in coming back to Ventura County.
Complete beyond the 25-yard line. Daniel Prado back in at quarterback, connects with one of his wide receivers, Ryan McGee. Clock is running 3.5 minutes to go. This could be the final drive of the opening half. We'll have some of the halftime festivities for you here. Whole series of events, isn't it, Derry?
Well, they have a lot of awards to be given out at halftime for coaching staffs of the year and some individual coaching honors.
Here's Prado moving to his left. Throws to Derek Holmes. That's complete for a first down, and he's still going. Holmes finally taken down after he picks up another 15 yards. What a play from Derek Holmes. How many times have I said that this season?
Just like every game that you covered from.
Seriously. Incredible stuff. It's not just his speed and escapability, but it's the strength he possesses, and we saw it there.
Well, you're talking about a guy who also was kind of a running back for Newberry Park at some time. He switched off with Matlock at times.
5'9", 175 pounds.
Played running back in that championship game.
Well, his dad was a running back in the NFL, of course. Prado. Flush, goes to the left side. He's run all the way. Skips
nice
by
move.
one. Dives forward. And he picks up a nice 7 yards. It'll be interesting to see where someone like Prado will be at the next level. 6 foot, 175 pounds, a little bit undersized, but
probably going to like either a JC or like a Division III and AIA school.
there's certainly room for players that aren't 6'3", 6'4" to play at the JC level and move on to the D1 level, or even in a lot of cases to get D1 looks.
And is used to kind of the pro-style offense, who could read the different defenses.
We'll have to put together a bit of a 2-minute drill here as he hands off to River Meza. Coach Fly bringing Meza on a little bit late in the game. It's his own player. We haven't seen Meza to this point carrying the football.
Well, the East has been throwing more than they have been running.
This is very true.
Behind a little bit.
Meza, another one of those running backs that it seemed struggled with some injuries this year.
Yeah, I think it wasn't just this year. I think he kind of struggled on and off throughout his career.
Prado, high, down to the 15, and that's almost intercepted. DeAndre Vines went up to get it and just didn't come down with the football. High-flying Vines nearly making a dramatic interception. Just brings up 2nd and 10, 95 seconds to go in this second quarter. Special Game of the Week coverage here in January, the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game, presented by the Ventura Downtown Lions Club. Four wide again. Vines the deep safety on his own in this cover one, it looks like. Pass complete from Prado to Nick Rodriguez. Seemed like he was a budding star at St. Bonaventure, ultimately transferred to Moore Park. And it's good to see Rodriguez in this all-star game, first team All-Marmani League. Wide receiver. On to the hurry-up, which is probably a little bit more difficult to run in an all-star game. Pinkston looking to his right, Prado. Thank you. Still nowhere to go. Fakes out a defender, and he can't get around the corner. Prado is sacked by Bryce Arnold.
Well, it's kind of hard for a left-hander to throw it when he's rolling to his right and there's a defender right on his back.
You almost have to pull it down and go all run.
Timeout East.
And the East takes a timeout. If I'm not mistaken, that is their final timeout with 61 seconds remaining. You would think one of the challenges in this all-star game is running a 2-minute offense because you've just installed the plays, right, earlier in the week. It's not like everyone's on the same page. You don't have a lot of on-field signals you can use as well. 2-minute offense has to be tough.
Well, I'm sure they've simplified things as much as possible. I mean, we're not going 4 or 5 chapters into the playbook as you would.
I want them to. That's what I expect.
Hey,
we paid good money to be. Well, no, I didn't.
Wait a second.
I didn't pay anything. These people paid good money to be here.
Well, they're seeing an entertaining game.
You want to see entertainment? Look to your left. Joe Curley's running. You don't have to show that on camera, Anthony, but
don't show that on camera.
That is, look at that. That is a reporter's jog if I've ever seen one.
I think he's recharging his batteries.
Yeah.
He's got to run to recharge the batteries.
Oh, man. Joe's doing a great job down there. He's obviously an outstanding print reporter and digital media reporter. I think he'd be a great sideline reporter. Here's Derek Holmes on the sideline, and Derek goes out of bounds at the 27. We'll try to stay with you through the halftime. Joe can even get a interview or two as we go through the halftime program. 3rd down and 5. First time we're seeing this trips formation from the East on this drive. Prado, the southpaw, looks back to his right, one-on-one coverage, and he overthrows Nick Rodriguez. 4th and 6. Thinking about taking the points, possibly? Kevin Fly? I don't think so. Logan Alexander checks out. Tight end Chris Gomez from Moore Park is into the game.
I don't think they're going to try a 48-yard field goal.
You never know. You want to give these kids a shot to try a career long, put on a show.
If they had Robledo, then maybe.
Right. He is not in this game.
Having played in the
Daily News game.
Didn't he play in the All-American Bowl?
He did play in that. This is the preeminent all-star game in Southern California, and that's why we're here on the Ventura County Star. Great to have you following us on Twitter as well, at VCS Preps. That falls incomplete. Joe is down on the west sideline, and really, Joe, it just has been a pretty dominant performance from this West team.
Yeah, big start from the Pacifica High guys, and the East made a couple plays to make sure it didn't get too out of hand, but to stick around here. But the last couple of years, this has been an East-dominated occasion. So real nice, first half here from the West. But we know they've got a long way to go to get this one.
Rogers quarterback. Noah Martinez is in the game. Receiver.
Magana carries up to the 41-yard line, and the West will spend a timeout. 38 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Couple opportunities to put the ball downfield. Reno Dubriel on the tackle, the Defensive Player of the Year for the Star, all Pac-5 division, and the MVP of the Marmani League. What a year for Reno.
We talked about him. We covered, about 3 Westlake games?
Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
And he was just outstanding in each one. His didn't have any big stats, but was just crucial to that defense.
Yeah, I think in a lot of cases teams were running away from him, running to different parts of the defense. And he didn't have the huge numbers, but again, the accolades massive. The Stars Defensive Player of the Year, all Pac-5 as well.
Often took away what teams wanted to do.
Exactly. Here's Rogers, downfield for Burnett, and it is taking him out of bounds. A diving attempt to knock it away. Nick Rodriguez made a fantastic play, even if the football was out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Joe Curley should have caught that pass.
He probably could have. He put one hand up to try and haul that one in. I think Joe was a running back in high school, wasn't he? Did you play in a high school all-star game, Joe?
Yeah, we don't have to get into my playing career.
What was the name of your high school?
Newton South High School.
I thought it was. I was going to say Northampton. It was Newton.
Actually, that's fun. My cousin played at Northampton, won the Massachusetts Super Bowl.
All right, that's a high level of football.
Yeah.
Not really. Third down, and here's Magana. And Magana with a first down and more. And if he can just get around the near corner, he had a lot of running room. And a timeout on the field from the West. They'll have one timeout remaining and 27 seconds left.
I don't think they're really keeping accurate timeout against.
I think they're just kind of letting them run
Yeah,
with it.
just play. Yeah, you got another timeout.
It is an all-star game. I mean, things are obviously a little bit different. I mean, we got Joe Curley on the sideline, you know. My name is Danny Page. With me, the Deuce Derry Eads. We will take a short break at halftime at some point. We'll stay through for as many of the festivities as possible. Joe Curley is about to speak to, as we head into halftime, he'll speak to Mike Moon and get his thoughts on this opening half. Remember, Pacifica has the West team and Royal the East team. Kevin Fly leading the way for Royal. And this season for the East in the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game. Rogers throws for Vines, and that's high.
Vines was coming in, and quarterback was thinking he was going to go long.
Only took 5 seconds off the clock. No harm, no foul, very little time.
No need for timeout.
The scoreboard has been updated. There's only one timeout left for the West. That's the only timeout left in this half. It is just past 7 p.m. here at the Ventura College Sportsplex. And a bit of an equipment issue with Nick Rodriguez. Checking into the game is Mark Scheid.
Our name is Justin Vella, out wide to the right. He just checked in.
6 foot, 175 pounder, second team all PVL. Noah Martinez is in the slot for Garen Rogers.
So two of our quarterbacks are in slot.
Yeah, right. Magana carries to the 47. And the West does take a timeout. Their final timeout. They waited a couple seconds.
That's kind of like a weird type of play with 20 seconds to go.
You know what? I know.
Half, and then you call a timeout.
You know, I know Mike Moon. He's got it all. He's got it all dialed in at this point. He did that for a reason. No, I have no idea. But it's an all-star game. You know, you can make these kind of. You can waste a couple seconds. Nobody really cares. I mean, it's not like the contentious games that we followed all season long here. We had some classics. Newberry Park and Westlake, unreal. Ventura Simi, Westlake in modern day. I mean, Santa Paula Fillmore was a thriller again. The list just goes on and on, doesn't it? Even our opening game, Buena Royal, was a ton of fun. And we obviously can't wait for the 2015 high school football season.
Just around the corner.
Sort of. Here's Rogers going up for Vines. And Vines makes a catch. He was unable to haul that one in. 4th down and 6 with 8 seconds left.
When you're old like me, Danny, things kind of go by pretty fast.
It goes by pretty quickly, huh?
You'll get there one day.
I will. So will Joe.
I don't know whether Joe will get there.
Oh, man.
With his 2 young kids, they're going to make him age in a hurry.
Right. 4th down and 6 coming up. You know, I'm surprised with 8 seconds left. You could almost bring in Aiden Salas and try and have him just take a shot downfield. Here's Rogers throwing for Vines, and that's intercepted. And now the East will have time to run one play. Picked on the play by Chucky Smith. Nice work from Chucky to haul that in. He was a talented offensive contributor at the running back spot when Matthew Matlock was hurt, and he played at the linebacker position as well. Chucky Smith.
Davis Pinkston back in at quarterback.
Final play of this opening half.
I think Mr. Holmes will be in this pass route.
Yeah, I would think he might have something to do with that. Let's see a hook and ladder. Let's see a little trickery. It's an all-star game, boys and girls. 3 seconds to go. Vines and Dunham, the 2 deep safeties. Pinkston pressured, puts that up for DeAndre Vines, who intercepts it. Look out, Vines somehow makes his way to the near side, but holding on for dear life is Sean Silliman, and that brings to a close this opening half of play. The West leads the East 21-7 in the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game presented by the Ventura Downtown Lions Club. And we hand it off to Joe Curley, who is with the head coach of the Pacific Tritons and the West team, Mike Moon. Joe.
Coach Moon, obviously, tremendous start. You've got your quarterback, your star receiver, and you get 2 touchdowns off the gate, and how happy are you with the way the offense played in this half?
Actually really happy with the offense. I like the way they're able to run the ball, in between the tackles, and the O-line's getting a really good push. If we can run the ball successfully like that, I think we obviously keep their offense off the field. And defense, we were playing okay. We had that 1 sack that we would have had them. All right. It would have been, the end of the drive, but they ended up driving the whole length of the field and taking pretty much all the second quarter and scoring. But I think if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll be okay. But, we definitely have to run the ball, continue to run the ball. We're going to throw it for sure. And then, that last drive, we tried to kind of sneak an extra score in there. But, it didn't work out. But at least we didn't, it was a turnover, but it didn't lead to points. So, yeah.
A lot of firepower on both sides. But what, how do you prepare for a game? Going into this game, did you guys try to reach out to other staffs that have done it? And do you have a certain philosophy going into this game about preparation and how to get the kids ready for it?
Yeah, I actually talked to a lot of coaches. I coached this game as a position coach. Man, it must have been 10 years ago now. So that was like kind of in the back of my head, and we weren't super successful. So what could we do differently? And I talked to some coaches that were more successful. Some of my staff coached it a couple years ago with the Rio Mesa staff. So they're like, this worked, this didn't work. But definitely I reached out to a lot of different guys that have done well. And it's always difficult going against the East. They got some great players, some from great schools. So
you guys are rotating quarterbacks differently than they're going every possession, right? And you guys are going every quarter. What's the?
I think our offensive coordinators just kind of going with the feel for it, So, but both the quarterbacks bring different elements to the game where Garen can run the ball a little bit more, and Buddha's just basically strictly a passer. So, I think we just got to keep what we're doing what we're doing. If we continue to run the football, I think it'll be a good second half for us. But we got to make sure we do that and play defense, obviously. So, all right.
The West is halfway there, Danny.
Yeah, it's been a really fine performance from the West. They lead 21-7. We're going to listen in on some of the halftime festivities. Derry and I are going to take a break up in the booth, and we'll check in with you shortly. The second half of play, not too far away. VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travels, 42nd Annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game.
This time, we'd like to formally recognize our coaching staff of the year. Our first award is the Tony Lopez Award given to the outstanding walk-on coach of the year. This year, it's awarded to Justin Worth of Ventura High School. Justin has coached at Ventura for 18 seasons. This past season, with the offensive line for the Cougars, they won the Channel League title and went on to the Western Division final. His selfless commitment and dedication to the Ventura High School program for which Tony Lopez Award is all about. Small Schools Junior Varsity Staff of the Year. goes to Fillmore High School, who were Tri-Valley League co-champions with a record of 8-2. They're led by head coach Tony DeFoya, assistants Rob Rickard, Robbie Aguilar, and Josh Rickard. Congratulations. The small school varsity staff of the year goes to Grace Brethren, who are Frontier League champions and CIF East Valley Division finalists with a record of 13-1. They're led by head coach Josh Henderson, assistants Brian Berkefeld, Josh Schuster, Dan Lamarty, Kevin Rene, Curtis Schammel, Barry Tully, Alon Dial, Mar Heffler, Barry Leffler, Jake Henderson, and David Schuster. Congratulations. Our school's freshman staff of the year goes to Newbury Park, the Camino League champions, with a record of 8-0-1. And then goes to Jeff Kelly, their assistants Anthony Foley, Tom Foley, George Hurley, David Anderson, Keith Smith, and Nelson Duarte. Our school's junior varsity staff of the year goes to Newbury Park, Camino League champions, with a record of 8-2. They're led by head coach George Contreras, and assistants Michael Contreras, Scott Ellis, and Ryan Hood. The Mars School's varsity staff of the year goes to Newbury Park, and also Camino League champions, the CLS Northern Division finals, with a record of 11-3. They're led by head coach Gary Fabricas, with assistants Doug Hagan, Coach Michael, Keith Smith, Brian Heisen, Chris Story, and Jason Klein. Our association will also like to recognize two long-time county head coaches. First, we want to recognize Christian head coach Bill Riddell for his 200th coaching victory. Bill has a very distinguished record that includes over 238 wins, 8 CIF titles, and a 32-year coaching career at Trustee St. Francis Christian. Coach Riddell could not be here tonight with us. I will make sure that this is of our recognition. And secondly, we'd like to recognize Coach Mark Becker, who's stepping down at Oxon High School after 16 seasons. Mark coached 9 years at Greco Valley High School, won a CIF championship there in 1997, started in 1999. The Yellow Jackets team won 93 games during his tenure and won the Pacific League title 7 times, making the playoffs in 14 to 16 seasons. He's been a strong supporter of our county association, tough competitor on the field, and most importantly, an outstanding role model of integrity and sportsmanship to provide for young people in the program. We want to thank and congratulate him for the job well done and wish him the very best in the future. Unfortunately, Mark also could not be here this evening with us. I don't want to accept on his behalf with the assistant coach Mark Martinez. Once again, thanks for coming up this evening and enjoy the second half. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the folks from Paradise Chevrolet for sponsoring tonight's All-Star game. Paradise Chevrolet is an independent dealer in communities. They're located at 6350 Cleveland Street here in Ventura, California. That's Paradise Chevrolet. And also, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, get a hold of Robert Daniel. Robert Daniel is America's hardest working nice guy. Real estate buying home. If you're looking to sell a house or buy a house, he's located here in Ventura. His phone number is 653-6676. And just remember, real estate buying home.
Squeeze through the belly.
Then you don't need
Back live on the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel. It's hard to believe that I won't get to sit around with these hooligans anytime soon. My name is Danny Page. With me, Derry Eads. Of course, the commentary team for the better part of 4 years now. Here for the Ventura County Star, Anthony Placencia, our director and producer, and Joe Curley down on the sidelines for us in this contest, as well as the West leads the East 21-7. Deuce, are you a little bit surprised that the boys from the west part of the county have really been in control throughout?
Well, traditionally, the East has really kind of dominated this game. And, as Coach Moon had said earlier, the East just brings some great athletes to the game year in, year out. It's really tough to beat them. But, that great combination of Solace to Vines has really been kind of the defining moment in that first half of the West.
I think the best player on the field has been Vines.
Vines is definitely.
He's really controlling the game in a lot of ways because what he's been able to do defensively as well.
3 catches for 83 yards.
Wow.
Didn't then have that interception.
But he's also drawing in a lot of the defense as well, even when he's not getting the football.
You've got to respect what he does, so that opens it up for other guys on the other side of the field.
DeAndre Vines from Pacifica.
I'm sure he's going to start
him in a high school game. You're in Ventura County. And remember, the East does receive, and just like that, Derry, this could be a 1-touchdown game, and before long, the East could go on a run here and pull back level. But it's a really outstanding start, you have to say, from this West team as we get set to start the second half of play in the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game presented by the Ventura Downtown Lions Club. Brian Easterly, big thanks to Brian. Everything he does to put this game on. The IF champion was Easterly with the Ventura Cougars back in the day. A couple of Cougars in this game whose names we've called, but we'll focus on the opposite side of the ball. The East will move from left to right in all-white uniforms. Dalton Garinger checks in at the wide receiver spot. Haven't seen him a ton tonight. His teammate Daniel Prado will be at the quarterback spot. River Meza is the running back. And here's Prado, who gives it to River Meza. What do you think about River Meza, Deuce? We expected to see a lot from him in that opening game, and really he just never had what we thought he would this season. He seemed to be just banged up all year.
Yeah, he's obviously a great talent. He's had some really big games for Royal throughout his career. And, they had that, didn't they beat Thousand Oaks?
Yeah.
That was the big win.
The big upset of T.O.
Where both he and Shumato had a really good game.
Finally got a chance to get in the game. Did Meza. Dubriel's the motion man. Linebacker plays some time at fullback and H-back. He also could at the next level. Here's Prado rolling to his left. And the defensive back came just a bit early. Jashawn Lee had a nice beat on the throw, but he just went and hit the wide receiver, hit the intended target instead of going for the football, and that's a pass interference call.
There's, excuse me, they're really talking it over.
Maybe they'll wave the flag off. Nope. Interference against the defense. There you have it. Automatic first down for the East, less than a minute into this All-Star game. Into the second half of this All-Star game, I should say.
There hasn't been a lot of penalties in this game. About the only thing we've seen are a couple of offsides, illegal procedures, and that's been about it.
Here's Meza working the right-hand side. Now tries to bounce it back, and he's eventually hauled down from behind. Bryce Arnold making the play. Kind of an undersized linebacker, Bryce Arnold, but 136 tackles, 88 solo tackles to go with 5 sacks and 2 picks, 6 foot, 180 pounds. He was really a fun one to watch, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Derek Holmes, the wide receiver, to the near side. Dalton Geringer in the slot. Dubriel moves over to the left side as Prado will work from the shotgun. Now Dubriel, the motion man. Josh Januska, the near side corner. On 2nd and 8 here from the VC Sportsplex. Prado, quick toss. Complete on the far side. Sean Silliman. He picks up a couple yards, and our Joe Curley is down on the field with Grace Brethren head coach Josh Henderson. Mr. Curley, say what up to Coach
Danny,
for us,
I'm here
please.
with the coach of the CIF finalist, Grace Brethren Lancers, Josh Henderson. Obviously, another great season for Grace. You know, one of the, you guys have a tradition of success, a lot of CIF finals in the last 12 years. Just, what made this team unique for you guys?
Well, what made this team unique is Grace does have a rich history, at the state championship in 2004 and several final appearances, but this has been really a rebuild. We were league champions in 2010, and then last year we had one senior on the team. We were 4-6. The year before that, 2-8. So I think what made this special is something around the amount of commitment, work ethic, and energy that takes. We had some outstanding kids. The complete Grace Brethren community is special. So just to be part of that and the energy that it took and the willingness and commitment of the community and players, to be part of that, it is special, and I'm blessed for it.
And that run could just be the prelude, too, because, you only have one player in this game, and a lot of your players were underclassmen. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. We had a great senior class with Andre Bannister out here, Matt Woodard, Caleb Funk, Trevor Brighthop. Outstanding senior class, but in the finals we started 7 sophomores, 1 freshman, 8 juniors. So that says a lot. Wasn't quite sure what to expect returning, only having 1 senior 2 years ago, but you see what that added up to. So I'm certain we're going to be highly competitive next year. And if, there's always the condition of the way the guys prepare and do things, but if you look at the past, and that tells us something about the future, I think some really good things are coming for Grace Brethren.
Yeah, Danny, don't sleep on the Lancers next year.
We most certainly will not. Hopefully we get them on the game of the week one of these days. Huge action while we were down with Joe, by the way, as it's the first break of this half, and it goes the East's way, Derry. The punt is muffed, and hopefully they can strike right away. Here's Derek Holmes. Holmes inside the 20-yard line. Still going Holmes. Nice spin for a first down. That could be a really big play in the way this game unfolds.
I thought it was a penalty on the East for interfering with the guy trying to catch the ball, but they didn't see it that way.
I thought it very well could have been. Ultimately, the ball ends up back with the East, and after a first down, they have the ball inside the 15-yard line now. Big thanks to Josh Henderson. He's someone I've always enjoyed interviewing over the years.
He was like at, wasn't he at L.A. Baptist before he went to Grace?
Exactly. He was at one of the private schools in the L.A. area.
Replaced Terry Gorley.
Gorley having a couple great years there. Thrown toward the sticks intended for Chris Gomez, the tight end. And Pinkston's throw is just a little strong. So muff punt, that means change at the quarterback spot. It's now Davis Pinkston running things. 2nd and 10. Calling in the signs on the defensive side, Michael Lugo from Ventura. And he does not have, just to confirm, he does not have an interception yet, which obviously was a big part of that linebacking core's ability. Keenan Moran as well. Also at the linebacker spot tonight, Stephon Thomas from CI. Here's Pinkston. Quick throw and nice tackle from Jashawn Lee. It actually ends up being a sort of team exercise. 4 yards still on the play for the forward progress. And now a 3rd down and 6. Derry, the scenario the game is in, is this 4-down territory?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Game, which is perfectly suited for 4-down plays. Got nothing to lose. It's like you said earlier, the coach can't be fired.
Kevin Fly and his royal staff leading the East team. Mike Moon and Pacifica leading the West. Dubriel, the motion man, seen a lot of time offensively. Half. Pinkston keeps it, and he's not really going anywhere. Let's see if Rio Mesa takes the points. Excuse me, Rio Mesa. I don't know why I said that. Let's see if the East takes the point. I saw River Mesa coming on. I thought Rio Mesa. I don't know.
I think they're going for it.
I would think so too.
You know, they've kind of had a little trouble with their passing game. You know, they're right around 500 combined by the two. They're like 12 of 22. They really haven't gotten that one really good play, except for Darnay Holmes in the corner there, Derek Holmes. That was almost a touchdown.
Timeout on the field called by the East. Well, I think that you look at the way the West passed the football on the opening drive, the way Aiden Salas threw the ball, and you look at things and you say the East hasn't been throwing the ball well. And you're right, they haven't been throwing the ball well. But the West just has done so well through Salas that it's kind of tilted our expectations toward what they did on that opening drive.
Well, it isn't like the East has run the ball very well either.
Right.
Their whole offense has just kind of struggled to
It's been stagnant.
They've been behind, and that kind of creates a problem too. It's trying to, they're playing from behind. The defense knows that they've got to pass, and so they're really kind of keen.
Well, I mean, they had run 4 plays, had 1 first down by the time it was already 14-0.
Right.
And I think that's a difficult scenario to really start the game in. By the time they ran their 5th play, they were already down 14-0. Here we go, big 4th down and 6 for Davis Pinkston. Ryan McGee in the slot, Derek Holmes Jr., the near side wideout. Pinkston fakes the handoff, rolls right, run throw option, throws it into the end zone. It is incomplete. And the West will take over at the 10-yard line. A nice defensive stand. I always like those bootleg plays with a run-throw option, but really with the quicker, smaller linebackers for this West team, players like Stephon Thomas, players like Bryce Arnold, they just were able to keep pace with Pinkston.
And the secondary did a great job in the corner. There was no place for Pinkston to throw.
Fine coverage. Couldn't agree more. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Fumble. Salas drops it. And it's the 2nd turnover of the half from the West team. Salas just lost the ball on the play action, and the East gets another opportunity. The defense has had 2 fine stands for the West, but they just keep giving it back to their opponent. 1st and goal for Davis Pinkston, or should I say probably Daniel Prado and company.
Well, I mean, how many chances do you need here?
Maybe 4 more. We'll see. 1st and goal from the 3. I think they can punch it in here. 2 fullbacks set to block for Prado and crew. It's Prado. It's Moore, and Moore's in the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. Drew Moore from Simi Valley had 5 rushing TDs against Oak Park. He's got 2 on the ground tonight. And the East team has pulled within a score in this All-Star contest, pending the point after. Well, that was easy. Why didn't they do that in the last sequence? Solid stuff from Drew Moore as he takes that one in. Joe Curley is looking to catch up with him shortly.
With Moore and Mesa, you would think that and Bannister, you think they'd be running the ball more.
What did you say? It's already been 23 pass attempts if you include that last play. They were, 12 of 23? Just over 50%. Those are unofficial stats, but No less. That's not a recipe for success. Whether you're in an all-star game or a non-league game or a preseason game, it doesn't matter. You can't complete just 55% of your passes and throw the ball that much.
Well, you can't, to throw it 23 times and have barely over 100 yards, that's just not a good formula.
Well, and the thing that surprises me as to why that is the case is that you have two quarterbacks that threw the ball so much with so much success. One running back that's been successful tonight is Drew Moore from Simi Valley, and Joe Curley has caught up with Simi Valley's Drew Moore. Joe?
Drew, obviously, the Pioneers had a tremendous year this year, but to cap off your senior year with a couple touchdowns in the county all-star game, I mean, that's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome feeling. I'm scoring 2 games in the all-star game, and this is like the best of the best right here, so it's actually knowing that you can hang with them.
It's a quick change situation there with the turnover and to get it real quick. Just how does that all happen? Give us the secret to get in the end zone on a quick change like that.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to the ball or get on the line as fast as we can just to power it in before they're ready. So I mean, as long as we keep doing that, we should be able to pull this out with a win.
And they put you in a comeback scenario here, and you guys have especially at Simi Valley, you guys showed that you could make a comeback this year, and just what do you guys have to do to finish this out?
We just got to keep playing the way we are, and I think we'll come out with a win.
Thanks, Danny. That's Drew Moore, Simi Valley High.
Good stuff, Joe Curley, catching up with Drew Moore, Canyon League Offensive Back of the Year. He was all Western Division.
If I remember reading Lauren Ledine's story, Moore's not going to play college football. He just wants to kind of concentrate on his education.
Very cool. Good for Drew Moore. A lot of options for that young man, and he is electing not to play football. This is the last time we'll see him on the field then, Derry. It's a special opportunity, and he has 2 touchdowns. Tyler Peralta picks up a few yards. I know Tyler is still sorting out his future and what's next for him, but I really believe he can play at the running back position at the next level and can thrive.
He's a tough running back. I mean, with a lot of carries, 30, 35, 40 carries, so the toughness is there, the durability is there, and he's got really good speed. I mean, number 2 running back in Ventura High history. I mean, we're talking about a history that goes back 90 years.
Pretty incredible that he's second running the football in terms of career yards, yes?
Yes.
We all know who number 1 is. Peralta he ended up 17 yards short of 2,000. When you look and see that figure, you think if he had gotten another 17 in that final, Ventura might have been able to go on and win the game. Really, ultimately, I think that the running game just stalled. Obviously, Palos Verdes just came up with a way to stop that outstanding Cougar running game in the second half and pulled away for a win.
Well, it kind of looked like after that first half, Ventura looked like they had.
But they were going to cruise.
Yeah.
But it was the same way with the Simi game that we did, Deuce, and I know you were away and you weren't on the call for that. It looked like Ventura was on their way, and ultimately they just couldn't close it out. As the pass intended for Peralta is incomplete. 4th down, and boy, after a pretty dominant first half performance, a couple of early second half turnovers. Football's going back to the boys from the other side of the grade. And the East will have a chance to draw even, possibly.
Well, that was a kind of a strange play to have. It was odd looking for Solis to kind of roll out to the right and then come back and throw a little screen.
Well, and there was no one out to block for the intended target, Peralta, either. As a running back, catching the ball out of the backfield, normally you want to give the player one blocker or something along those lines. And the punt is away from Cooper Garcia.
Oh.
And this one's muffed, but ultimately recovered by Andre Bannister. Mistakes on both sides in the third quarter of this high school football all-star game, the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game, brought to you by the Ventura Downtown Lions Club. Ventura Downtown Lions Club was chartered in 19 23, a membership of over 100 men and women. They donate to so many worthy causes and charities in Ventura. Incredible what they've done for this city over so many years. Big thanks to Ventura Downtown Lions for putting on this event. First down and 10 from the 15.
Oh!
Bannister hauled down from behind. Michael Lugo with the tackle. Boy, he was a tough linebacker, wasn't he? And, when you talk about the Ventura team and what got them to a CIF championship game, you talk about the two Tylers, obviously. Peralta, nearly 2,000 yards. Tyler Smith, what he did. But to me, it ultimately was about the defense. It ultimately was about Lugo and Moran, the linebacking core, Hurlbut at defensive end, Januska, and everyone in the secondary. Don't you think it was more about what they did defensively that got them that far?
It is year after year. Ventura has always been known for playing some really great defenses. They really stick it to you, really make you play hard. You know when you've played Ventura because their defense.
It hurts. It hurts for a while.
You know, even when Ventura won the CF title with, what's his name?
Tyler Ebell.
That Tyler.
Yeah, that guy.
The third Tyler in the group. They were known for their defense. And
Yeah, no,
Ebell
absolutely.
played defense too.
He did.
Defensive back.
He did play defensive back. Although, again, we'll bring it back. One of the stars defensively, one of the key players, was Brian Easterly, who puts on this game, of course. It was Brian's senior year. Probably a lot of players from that team here taking in this game. Here's Bannister, and Bannister's brought down. You'll see that it was a first down play, but let me also remind you that they were knocked back 15 yards for a foul. So it was 1st and 10, but ultimately 15 yards closer to the East's goal. They kind of had to start over. Looks like Joe Curley has another lucky interview subject down there. Joe, who you got?
Harrison Brooks, Thousand Oaks High.
Of course.
He recovered the fumble to get the quick change to get the East back in this. Harry, just tell me about that turnover and the big push here starting the second half.
Well, that turnover, it was a fumbled snap, and quarterback just couldn't get a hand of it, and I saw it right there. I mean, I guess I could have scooped and scored it, but I saw a chance, and I dove for it.
What does participating in a game like this mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot to know that that I made the All-Star team and everything. I mean, it gave me another shot to play football. I mean, after our last game of the season, I thought it was done for me, but I get another chance to play it right here.
So this is it? Any aspirations of playing wherever you go? Do you know where you're going to go to school?
No, not yet, but I am looking forward to possibly playing college football, and I definitely want to pursue that dream. So.
All right, cool, Danny. Harrison Brooks.
Good stuff. Harrison Brooks recovering that fumble that led to a touchdown one play later. On 3rd and 8, here's Prado. Blitzed by Zavala. Throws, and it's incomplete off the fingertips of McGee. It seems every time we go down to Joe, something happens in this game. Angel Nunez had a great chance at an interception at about the 25-yard line as Prado just prayer, basically. It was not answered, but it was also not answered for the West. And now DeAndre Vines awaiting the punt.
Boy, I tell you what, the West really picked up their defense in this series.
They needed to, Deuce. Couldn't allow the East to just march downfield, give up this lead. Fourth and 8. Away should be the call after the muff punt for this West team, and they will start at their own 42-yard line. So Aiden Salas had prepared and start with the ball right around the 30, muffed punt. Doesn't get a chance to. Then the next drive, he comes out, he fumbles the opening snap, and now the one-time Wainimi quarterback turned Pacifica star, I would imagine, will lead his team out again. Yes, he will.
They're having a little trouble with the sticks.
Yeah, they are. Along the east sideline. The east team sideline, I should say. The direction of that sideline is not east. And a timeout on the field called by the West team. 2 timeouts from
kind of an
each
odd
side.
timeout.
Yeah, it did seem a little weird, but they just couldn't get things together. So each team has spent exactly 1 timeout. You know, Derry, it was when I looked at the weekend ahead, I was excited about doing this game. It's been a lot of fun being with you out here tonight. But I must admit that it is it's a bit of a sad weekend because outside of the Super Bowl, tomorrow's game should be tremendous. Football's over.
You've got the other football.
I do have the other football, obviously. And of course, I love watching, the game in Europe and America. Ventura County Fusion Soccer is gearing up for an outstanding season as well. But American football, it's what this country's about. And I'm certainly going to we had such a tremendous high school season, Deuce. We had an incredible college season. The NFL's been great. The game is just really thriving in this country at so many levels. And tomorrow's games will be a lot of fun. I always love championship weekend. But it's been a fun way to send it out by being out here getting to call another game for the 2014 season, technically.
So what are your predictions for tomorrow?
Seahawks, Patriots. Pete Carroll's going to get a chance at revenge for the team that let him go. Let's see what Joe thinks about that.
Well, Joe's going to pick the Patriots. That's a no-brainer.
Carry from Tyler Parker, 3rd down and 3.
Santa Clara, running back.
Let's toss it down to Mr. Curley. Joe, hang on, Joe. We got you down there? Yeah, let's send it down to Joe. There you go.
Danny, we got Davis Pinkston, maybe the busiest guy in this game, playing offense at quarterback, playing defense at safety, and punting. So all 3, so just how do you prepare for this, or is it just another football game? It's the way you play.
I have a bunch of all-star guys out here, so everyone's awesome talent, and it's great playing with these guys. And for all my life, I've been playing all these positions, so coming in here, having fun, knowing I got the best guys in the league helping me out, got my back. It's awesome. It's a great feeling knowing that you have the greatest players out there helping you. So.
And what a season this year by the Pioneers too. I mean, just tell us just the warm memories that you have. Wrapping up with a historic season for Simi Valley.
Yeah, our winning league was our goal at the beginning of the season. We talked about it. We met as a team, talked about what we wanted to do, and our main goal was to win league. And we got that done, which was awesome for everyone, especially being my senior year, my last year of high school football. Winning league was one of the greatest things ever. And even going a few rounds into the playoffs was more than we expected, but it was icing on the cake. It was awesome.
And obviously people want to know what you're doing after school, and it's going to be a couple years till we see you on the field, right? What's your plans?
Well, right out of high school, I plan to go serve on my mission for the LDS Church. I'll find out where I'm going in a few months, and then I want to leave as soon as I can. I'll be gone for 2 years, try to get back and get picked up somewhere and play ball again.
Davis, before the season started, he told us how much he wants to play for BYU. So somebody who's got a connection in Provo, get on the horn, because we know this guy can play football.
Absolutely. Joe, don't you think he's a player that you could look at, that we could see when he's we haven't seen him for years, and then he's 24 years old and he's the starting quarterback for a 10-2 BYU team. When I look at Pinkston, obviously going away for a couple years, he's such a smart, mature man and an outstanding athlete. He could be someone that pops back up on the scene once he returns from his mission.
Well, I think he's one of the best football players in the county. Certainly somebody who's has ability at that level, and to get 2 more years of maturation, get his body back in order, to get it even more developed. He's going to be an even better freshman for somebody 2 years from now. You know that.
Yeah, great interview. Someone we really enjoyed covering. 3rd down and 8 on the way. Tony
Parker of Santa Clara's had 4 4 carries for 13 yards on this drive.
Yeah, 151 carries, 537 yards on the year for Tyler Parker. And it's a reverse. Jay-Sean Lee is taken down by Reno Dubriel. Sorry, Deuce, go ahead.
He really smelled that one out really fast.
Very instinctive play from Reno. And he's been one of the fine players on the season.
Boy, the West is kind of struggling a little bit here offensively in this quarter.
They have not been able to get it going, and Aiden Salas throwing the football was outstanding on the first couple drives and just hasn't had the same accuracy. Return taken up to the 32-yard line. Trenton Padilla. And the East from there, but on the opposite side of the field, because the third quarter has come to a close, we'll enter the final period of play with the West 21-14 in the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game. Your thoughts, Derry? The East might be able to pull this out with the way they've been playing.
Yeah, I think they have a chance to kind of get their running game going a little bit in this half. I think we might see a little bit more of Mr. Moore, Mr. Mesa in the next 12 minutes.
It's been a lot more effective, the running game has.
Well, they've really kind of, it's like we mentioned earlier, they really have struggled kind of getting any consistency with their passing game. This really plays really good. The secondary is just really tough, which, you know, lends to the problems the East has been having.
They have not succeeded in throwing the football. The running game is starting to come together, although their second touchdown was an absolute gift. A fumble inside the 5-yard line on first down. Great defensive play from Josh Januska at Ventura. Boy, he's a talented one, isn't he?
Really is.
Second team All-County, 6 interceptions on the year, and nearly had one in this All-Star game.
Januska and Vines have been kind of like the top 2 players for the West so far, I think.
Yeah, Januska moves around from the corner spot to the safety spot, at least he did for Ventura, mostly playing at corner here. Jay Dunham back at safety, first team all PVL. Now Januska backs off, Pinkston quick throw, and that line of scrimmage. Another incompletion. They're below 50%, aren't they? Why aren't they running the ball? Yeah, no, it's a great point.
13 of 28.
A little short on time, one would say, although I don't know if that argument necessarily stands up.
Both teams have a couple of turnovers. The one really big one by the West, setting up a touchdown.
3rd and 10. And now you're in a situation where you have to throw the ball. Pinkston, blitz coming up the middle. Pinkston gets away. Pinkston beyond the line of scrimmage. But he fumbles the ball right after he steps out of bounds, and late flags.
I think that's got to be a face mask.
Or was it a late hit? I think the problem with throwing a late flag there is, yes, Pinkston stepped out of bounds, but he continued to move forward and reached the ball out as if he had never gone out of play. To me, it seems like it maybe was an unnecessary penalty. The refs don't agree. Goes against the West team, and boy, yet another mistake from the group of West players here.
Well, errors are hurting the West more than the East is.
Well, it's what's keeping the East in this game, really. Joe, what's the what's the tempo, what's the vibe like down on that west sideline? They're making some mistakes.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet. I was trying to get Everett here to tell us where he contacted Pinkston. He's trying to explain to a Camarillo kid and a couple other guys here, that he didn't quite hit him where they thought he hit him. But there's not a lot of rah-rah. It's kind of quiet. A lot of guys talking. And it's an all-star game down here, Danny. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Well, the thing I think you have to say, though, in defense of the West team in the second half, they've played well defensively. If not for that turnover and the muff punt and the penalty, I mean, they would be in a really strong position here in the fourth quarter.
And when you think of the firepower on that east side, it's really impressive to be a destructive influence, to be dominant against that collection of firepower has been very impressive.
One of the things I've kind of it strikes me looking over at the east side, they don't have a lot of numbers over there.
No, fewer players on the team, definitely.
And that's got to have some kind of an effect.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it. The West roster is a lot larger. As I look at my board, definitely. There are some players who were on the roster we had that did not show up for the East area that ultimately weren't a part. Tommy Woodruff, Agora, we thought was going to be involved. Andre Chevalier, Brenner Marsh. A lot of these players ended up not being involved in the game, at least from what we can tell. Maybe there were injuries in practice, maybe other reasons not to play, as Pinkston works his way down to the 20-yard line. What an interesting, hit from Joe earlier with Pinkston, and that the fact that he will leave on a mission for a couple years. Do you see him coming back and playing football, or is this the last football game he's going to play?
Well, I got to think that somebody's got to be looking at him in a couple of years.
Right.
Older, mature, his body be more physically stronger. I mean, I'm sure that he will be throwing the ball a little bit during those 2 years.
Right, he's definitely going to pack a football, isn't he? Here he is throwing it up to the end zone. Receiver's open, and it's knocked away. Nice recovery by Januska. John Abate, the 6'1", 175-pound wideout from Oak Park, the intended target.
A little underthrown. Running back had actually stopped to try to wait for the ball. Allowed the defense to come back to break it up.
Derry, do you know what happens in the occasion of a tie? If the game is tied, I think it would end in a tie.
I would think it would.
Certainly possible at this point. No one's interested in kicking field goals. Here's Pinkston stretching wide to the right. And Pinkston picks up a good 6-7 yards. So you asked me, my turn to ask you, who do you have in the games tomorrow?
I think you have the two teams. You got them right. The Patriots and Seahawks have got to be the favorites.
What a story it would be if Andrew Luck were to go into New England and get a win, or if a hobbled Aaron Rodgers carried Green Bay to a Super Bowl. I actually think Eddie Lacy can be the real star tomorrow for Green Bay. Pinkston wants to keep it again. He keeps running the read option, only calling his own number. He tries to stiff arm Bryce Arnold, but then ultimately hauled down. 4th and 6 for this East team. I got to tell you, one of the real thrills of the night for me is walking through the stands at halftime. Everyone's wearing their own school's gear, coaches from all these schools, huge fans of the game. I mean, this is a crowd that absolutely loves high school football. And it's been fun to, share stories and chat with a lot of the fans here tonight. All of them fans of the Deuce, by the way.
I don't know about that. I think they're more fans of Anthony Placentia than
totally.
they are of the Deuce. Joe Curley.
4th and 7. Now
the ratings have to go up with Joe Curley.
Now that he's the face of the broadcast. On 4th and 7, Pinkston throws a little quick near side.
Oh, nice pass.
Out route. Ball spotted at the 9. That's a first down. 1st and goal for the East team. Now, one thing that I've been told that has happened in the past, too, in the result of a tie, and this is from Brian Easterly, the team that scores to tie the game is basically told, you know what, go for 2. So I wonder if
well, I mean, do you tell them right now?
Maybe at this point you're not guaranteed of another score.
It's not a high-scoring game.
What did you say earlier? Most All-Star games end 24-21, something like that? That's what we're looking at right now for the most part. Blitz coming. Pinkston rolls to the opposite side of the blitz. Now we'll have to throw back across the field. And he completes that down to the 1-yard line. Caught by Dalton Geringer. Todd Zimmerman is your head referee, by the way. Great crew tonight. And, you know, now at the collegiate level, Derry, and the professional level, instant replay is everything, you know. But high school refs, I think, get so many calls right. They do such a fine job without the benefit of instant replay. I think that they don't get enough credit for the work they do at the high school level.
It's tough. That
And
may
penalty
be
flag
emotion.
down.
That may be emotion.
Sometimes, Joe, we'll bring in Joe Curley. You know, sometimes I think about what the high school refs do, and I compare it to some of the collegiate refs I see, and I'm thinking, man, these guys do a better job than we see at the college level.
It's tougher, and it's tougher. It's kind of similar to what Derry and I deal with. It's a lot harder to cover high school cover college or the pros because they give you everything, and you got replays, and it's kind of the same situation where, you know, at the high school level, it's a little bit tougher. You can't miss any plays. You can't look down. You got to be focused in and right on, both as an official and as the deuce.
But there are very few calls, I think, back over these past years where you think, man, the referees just didn't make the right. Mostly they always seem to make the right call.
Yeah, I can't really think of any controversial things
Hey,
either.
Joe, how about the CI Grace Brethren game from last night?
Oh.
The game is over.
Yeah.
And they called 2 technicals,
I saw
post-game
your
technicals.
And it decided the game.
And decided the game where Grace Brethren makes free throws to win the game.
And isn't that normally you send them to overtime?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
have
I
to
thought.
go deep into the. Have to tell Lauren to go deep into the record book or the rule book for that
How do
one.
you call post-game technical fouls?
It better have been harsh. I mean, it better have been, you know, deserved.
It had to be something with the crowd did.
Ouch, that hurts. How are things down on the sideline, Joe? 3rd and goal coming up.
They're great. I was just about to grab Januska or maybe Arnold, and, you know, after that great stand, but Dalton, you know, great catch by Dalton Geringer. This East team will not die. This drive won't die either.
Kevin Fly's out on the field. Is he the 12th man on the field now? Look at him all the way over there on the far side.
I think he's in the extended all-star coaches box.
Right. I mean, the entire team's out on the field pretty much. Third and 6 at this
This
point.
is kind of like the last touchdown drive by the East, where they've got a couple of turnovers, kept the drive going.
Yeah, they're.
That was a drive.
Like you said, it's been West mistakes. You know, a couple East plays sprinkled in, but mostly West mistakes.
I think the question is, will the East go for 2 if they score? Here's Meza bouncing to the right, but a great job from Arnold to originally corral him and ultimately knock Arnold back. 4th down coming up, Joe.
Kick the field goal.
What?
Do they have a kicker?
Yeah, they have a kicker. They're not going to kick the field
There's
goal.
6 minutes left. You got all the timeouts.
Hey, they've only scored 2 touchdowns in how many minutes? About
That poor kicker deserves a field goal attempt.
I agree. And again, I think the thought here, I would think the game would end in a tie if we do wind down. I've actually spoken via text to the event organizers, and you know, I think it's up in the air a little bit. Here's kind of the unofficial word.
Danny.
I saw him in the crowd. He's one of my all-time favorites. The safety, number 36, at USC, Wainimi graduate, Josh Pinkard. Did he play in this game, Joe?
Yeah, that's the exact question. You know, just Josh, obviously a tremendous multi-sport athlete at Wainimi. What do you remember about playing in this game?
I remember it was a great opportunity, being out there playing with other guys from the county, you know, as far as being on the same team and not going against one another and being from the West and then going against the East. And having a punt return and almost scoring twice on the punt return and the kickoff return and getting caught in the 1 yard line. That was about it. Yeah. Then that was a great time, great experience.
You get close to a pick in that game? Offense?
Oh, that was it. Just special teams on offense. I got close to a few picks. Didn't quite pull them in, but special teams was a great point.
You never forget it, Danny, no matter how old you get.
And I won't forget Josh Pinkard's SC career either. He was quality. 4th down and 5. Big moment for the East. Pinkston drops back, throws a little near side, out route, and that's caught. Touchdown for the East, and cheers ring throughout this stadium. Just beyond halfway through this final period, it's 21-20.
Nick Rodriguez.
Nick Rodriguez with the catch, the Moore Park wide receiver. And now Jose Miguel is looking to tie things up here. It is kind of an important PAT, isn't it? 5 minutes and 51 seconds remain.
What? What happened there?
That kick is up and good. Well, you don't rush. You're in the All-Star game. You're not allowed to rush on field goals or punts or anything like that. That's that's an angry look on your face. You don't want any kicker to get hurt. You know, you don't want to. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Why are we kicking off?
Right. Just start with the ball on the 25-yard line.
Come on, have the rules consistent all the way through.
You'd be a great commissioner, you know. Wow, that's the Deuce's displeasure. That's the sound you would make when you'd wind up with less than a .800 win percentage during seasons predicting games. All right, so we're even at 21, 5:51 to go. Nobody wants to see a tie. I'm just telling you. We haven't seen a tie in football. Well, I guess we saw one in the NFL this year between Carolina and Cincinnati, but there are no ties in college football. There are no ties in high school football. There are ties in the NFL if you're tied after.
There are ties in high school football if the two teams agree on it.
If the two teams agree, yeah. I haven't seen one in a few years. Have you?
It's been a while.
Because at this point, those overtime periods are smooth. They run pretty quickly. It's not like in the NFL when you're going 15 minutes, beyond 15 minutes into these games. Kicked away to the west, and here's Magana returning it. Magana gets 5-yard line, stumbles forward. Nice return from Magana.
That should be a penalty.
Little extracurriculars. Maybe it'll get a little chippy here. As this game winds down, we've seen it before. Let's keep it together here, gentlemen. That's all I ask. Okay, let's toss it down to Joe Curley, who is with the recipients of that last touchdown, Nick Rodriguez. Joe?
Danny, let's let him catch his breath. He just ran all the way down on the kickoff.
Oh, he's an
Forget about him.
Come on.
You ran all the way down there.
This is live.
I know this is not about him. It's about you, Joe.
So Nick obviously made 2 big-time plays on that drive. He made the, what was it, a 3rd and 9? Or it was a 4th down conversion, and then obviously the touchdown. So just give it, you guys aren't refusing. You're refusing to go down here. Tell us about that drive and how you extended it and then converted it.
I mean, I just pretty much asked my coaches just put me in and let me make a play, and then that's what I did for my team. I'm just trying to get my East team to score and win.
They were both outs. Were they both similar play calls? What were the routes?
It was an out route, and then the other one was a comeback to the corner, yeah.
And these West guys, they're playing some defense to hold all this talent down to 21 points. You can't hold it down forever, but that's been a tough defense tonight too, right?
Yeah, it's been hard, but our defense is just only practicing for like 6 practices. It's kind of hard, but our defense is just trying our hardest to communicate out there, and just do our best to stop the West from scoring.
There it is, Danny. We got 4:48 left and all to play for.
Yeah, this could be the
drive.
Biggest drive. It could be the final drive. If the West is able to run the football with a mix of Peralta and Magana. Well, they'll throw now with Salas. Quick pass near side caught by No Martinez as Martinez goes out of bounds. The West could run down the entire 432 here, dudes. And with the way they run the ball and methodically move the football, this could be it.
This could be it, yep.
It's Cooper Garcia. He's practicing his punting away to the left. Should maybe be practicing his place kicking.
Hey, we remember him from the big Nordhoff Bishop Diego game.
It's one of the best games we've ever done. It's Peralta.
2 years ago.
Picks up 4. It was the semifinal at La Playa Stadium in Santa Barbara, Bishop Diego and Nordhoff. What an absolute thriller that was. You're talking about the kick late in the first half?
That was, yeah. Well, he kicked 3 field goals in the game and then kicked that one, which really kind of gave Nordhoff some momentum. Boy, that was a big physical game.
And obviously, it's games like that, tight games, that cement someone's legacy, that cement Tony Henney's legacy and what that team was capable of achieving as Tyler Peralta.
He's taking over the game.
Yeah, he dives beyond midfield. He and Magana, I love the way that the West is using those two backs right now to pick up a few first downs, to keep the clock moving, and again, set up Cooper Garcia for a potential game-winning field goal right down at the end. And look, I just saw Mike Moon run over to Garcia and tell him, stop practicing your punts, start practicing kicking field goals. And now he's picked up the tee, Garcia, and he's going through the motions for a potential game-winning field goal. Except a penalty flag's thrown on the West. That's going to knock him back 15 yards. A punch thrown from Justin Vela. Just went out and swung, and he'll come off the field. As much as anything, it hurts this solid drive for the West. And Vela is too hot. He just kind of checks himself out of the game. There's no place for that, and I think he knew it. As soon as that happened, Vela just sprinted back over to the sideline, said, all right, coach, I'm sorry, I messed up. But that could kill this drive.
Well, it takes the ball out of Peralta's hands. Now they throw the ball.
Now it's with Salas.
They were continuing to move solid 4 or 5 yards at a time with Peralta. Now they've got to throw the ball.
It's Martinez at the near side with Vines. Burnett on the far side with McGill, and that's complete to DeAndre Vines.
Nice move by Vines.
He just stumbles as one defensive player was thrown over him. That's Brooks, Harrison Brooks from TO. Still 3rd and 15, Deuce, inside of 3 minutes. Well, I guess they gave them a down back on the personal foul. 2nd and 16, they're saying. I think that's a mistake, but either way, Salas throws way downfield for Vines, and Vines makes the catch.
What a great move.
It doesn't matter what down it is when you throw it up to number 5. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. There was interest from Pac-12 schools in Vines. As I understand it, his future is to be determined. Wherever he goes, he will make plays, and that's just what he did here.
That's his 3rd catch of 30 yards or longer.
In an all-star game.
In an all-star game.
We knew he was one of the most dynamic players in the county, but it's just the way he's gotten it done so far.
There were 2 defenders right there. He just out-jumped them.
And now it is back in Peralta's hands, isn't it?
Yeah, now it is. Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 16. Peralta will sweep wide to the right. Peralta still going, rolls forward, and he finally goes down just outside the 10-yard line. The East only has 1 timeout left, and the reason why I point out their timeouts is they may have wanted to stop the clock, prevent just a game-winning field goal at some point. But as it stands, Ventura gets another first down. Cooper Garcia.
You mean the West?
I said Ventura. Tyler Peralta's running the ball. I think Ventura, we're in Ventura. If the West gets another first down. I think that's the second time he made that error tonight. And this is Tyler Peralta of Ventura running for West County.
That makes sense now.
Right. Now you get it.
And the West just kind of keeping the ball in the middle of the field. They're, touchdowns on their mind. They're thinking Cooper Garcia.
Well, after this play, if West County does not get a first down, as Cookson comes in, he's sort of the jet sweep specialist. Keep an eye on that, the young man from Buena. I would have Peralta run right toward the middle of the field, try to pick up the first down, if not, winning field goal. And that's exactly what's happening, except Peralta runs back to the right, and he'll be stopped short of the first down, and Kevin Fly takes his final timeout. 31 seconds left in this game, and Cooper Garcia will come on for a potential game-winning field goal. I remember doing a story for VCS Preps ahead of that Bishop Diego Nordhoff game, and Cooper Garcia said to me when I interviewed him on camera, he said, I hope that the game comes down to a field goal as time runs out. He said, I want us to be down a point or two, and I want to kick the field goal to win. And he obviously played such a big role in the CIF semifinal. He didn't kick the winning field goal at that last moment, but in his last high school game, he has a chance to kick the game winner here.
Well, it always gives the offense a lot of confidence when they've got a guy who's lights out as a kicker, that he's going to reward what they do with some points.
And that was a big part of Nordhoff's confidence a year ago. Had it not been for Cooper Garcia, they may not have won that semifinal.
26 career field goals, third most in Ventura County history.
School record holder for field goals in a season and career. The holder, Garen Rogers. The defense just has to sit and watch, and Garcia on through. The two-time CIF champion with Nordhoff, Garcia, gives the West County a 24-21 lead with 27 seconds left. The running game started the drive. The long pass to Vines certainly put the West County in business, and then Cooper Garcia puts it through. A nice drive.
Well, I tell you what, that catch by Vines was just unbelievable. He's the MVP of this game.
Definitely, without question, Jerry. The most valuable player.
We've kind of gone through this whole game without talking about what's happened this week with the coaching change. It's John Mack going to Oxnard and Banker going to Oaks Christian.
Yeah, it's been quite a week, hasn't it? Really sensational stuff with Mack and Oxnard. And we did talk a little bit about Bankert at Oaks Christian. Haven't gotten into it too much, I think, because it's been an interesting game. And obviously Joe Curley's outstanding sideline reporting, too, has certainly helped this broadcast move along. It's been an absolute blast to work with this crew tonight. And Garcia is going to kick this away. Derek Holmes back to receive. And no one's going to receive. So that goes 9 yards deep in the end zone. If I'm not mistaken, no timeouts left for the East. The scoreboard says 1. I don't think there are any timeouts left for Kevin Fly's team. Like to see some kind of trick play here. Hook and ladder. Maybe a double pass. Let's see something special. Final 27 seconds of the high school football season in this all-star game. Been a great year. 2014 into 2015. And a penalty flag's down. Counting the defensive players, I only thought there were 11. There were 12. It's a 5-yard penalty. First and 10 from the 25. First and 5 from the 25, pardon me. 27 seconds. Remaining here in this contest. Prado drops, steps up to the line of scrimmage, throws complete to Derek Holmes. Derek Holmes is tackled down at the 42-yard line. Clock stops to move the chains, and Prado needs to get to the line immediately and snap the ball as soon as the chains are set. And the clock starts. Prado takes the snap. Prado, quick throw, near side, got to get out of bounds. Nick Rodriguez somehow does. And Rodriguez is thrown down the 47-yard line. 10 seconds left. Could we see an incredible finish here? Prado probably wants to pick up about 10 yards. If you picked up 20 and got out of bounds, you could kick a field goal, or pick up 10 and have a chance at a Hail Mary. Prado, near side throw. Rodriguez is out of bounds. 7 seconds left. Only took 3 seconds off the clock, but I think at this point, you may just have to throw the Hail Mary. Prado gets the call. Ryan Pemberton comes out to the near side, whispers something to Rodriguez with 7 seconds left. Prado will have to sprint to the near side, the final play of this game. Prado throws downfield, and it's incomplete. There's a penalty flag thrown. The clock does hit 0. But what's this flag for?
If it's against the defense, they got one.
No penalty flag, and the West wins the 42nd annual Ventura County High School Football All-Star Game. And you can see what it means to these kids. Nice little upset as Noah Magana sprints around the field. A fine contest tonight. We'll look to speak to our most valuable player of the night. I know Joe Curley is down there, and he's trying to track down Mr. Vines. Certainly our most valuable player, and probably for the game as a whole, Joe.
Yeah, we can confirm Vines will win the MVP.
Well, we have a card section blocking our camera now. That's not good. Card section reads.
It says Danny Winter Formal. So are you going to go to the Winter Formal with somebody?
Yeah, right.
Danny wants to go to the Winter Formal.
Oh boy!
It's got to be Newbury Park.
It's got to be Newbury Park. Cooper Garcia. We'll have Cooper Garcia. We'll have DeAndre Vines as soon as available.
All you can see on our camera right now. Boy, high school football's fun, isn't it? All you can see is the large card section of someone asking someone else to winter. Is it winter formal, Joe?
Winter Formal. Tell Anthony to dive on that and get it open again. All you're missing is the handshake line.
Yeah, no, it's fine at this point. Danny better say yes. I think that
seriously, I should take a photo of this so we can see it.
Put this up on the Twitter account at VCS Preps. Make sure to follow the Ventura County Star Twitter account. There's always so many interesting happenings in high school sports in the area. In fact, one of the individuals, Joe, right in front of the camera, I believe, holding up one of the signs, you'd never guess who it is. It's Darnay Holmes, who will be in this game at some point here. We saw his brother put together a solid performance. Part of the card section tonight, Darnay, but we'll obviously see him in the All-Star game in a couple of years, right?
Definitely. Let's see if we get DeAndre right now. Coach Moon is giving his post game.
Okay, and then if you can, just grab Mr. Vines, our player of the game, and Cooper Garcia as well. Joe, it's been a fun game. Have you enjoyed things down on the field as much as we have up here in the booth?
Here you go, So, DeAndre, obviously, that wasn't just a game-deciding play. That was a game-deciding play over the best cover corner in the county. And that's over there. Just tell me about that play. And
Jalen, we're great friends. We knew each other since junior high, and it was a battle all game, talking shit to each other back and forth. It was great, and And, and Jalen, me and Jalen before the game, he was like, don't shake hands with you. So, I had to show him what's up. He disrespecting me by not shaking my hand.
Yeah, that's what that was about after you made the play.
Yeah, exactly what that was about. So that was a good opportunity playing against him. I know he's a great corner. Everyone was telling me, oh, you're going to have a hard time with him. But, I came out and played my hardest and got the job done.
What does this game mean for you? Obviously, like we talked about earlier, you guys had a tremendous year at Pacifica. The end of the year you were hobbled. To be healthy now and to put this performance together in this game, what does it mean?
Oh, it means a lot. We all fought hard. We all came together this week at practice, and it was just great. It's a great feeling. Came into this game confidence with all the players, so it was just great.
There he is, one of the best two-way players in Ventura County, Danny. I'm going to
Joe, can you ask him what his plans are for the future?
We want to know, what your situation is next year, what your plans are, what you think you're going to be next year.
I don't know. I'm going to end up. I don't know. I might sign late signing day, but I don't have any full offers yet. But some should come soon. So I'm hoping on that.
Big-time player available, Danny.
Seriously, he's going to. He might need to send the footage of this game off to any interested parties.
Now it goes back to the basketball court.
Yeah, right. It was nice of him to be able to come over and do this for a little while. As Joe Curley makes his way through the crowd, we're hoping to catch up with Cooper Garcia to close things out here. But, Derry, let's just get your final thoughts on this game, obviously, as Joe charges his way through the crowd. It's not easy to see around there. Your final thoughts on this All-Star contest?
Well, the West so much dominated the first half, and they came out the second half, and they really kind of struggled to put something together till midway into the fourth quarter, when they finally were able to get the ball to Peralta, and he kind of opened things up for them after the game was tied.
Yeah, it takes us 42 minutes to get the running games going, doesn't it? Oh, some fine performances tonight, and obviously Cooper Garcia with the game-winning kick. That's what he's all about, Joe, is big kicks.
Danny, Cooper got taken by the Nordhoff crowd, but I'm going to grab Bryce Arnold real quick. Obviously, one of the things we were surprised about was, that's a lot of talent on that west side, or on the east side. So the defensive job that you guys did on them was big time. Tell me about, going up against, there's a lot of talent on the west side too, but just to hold that group to 21 points, I think is maybe the biggest story out of this game.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody thought, but the west side's all-stars too. I mean, still, at the end of the day, you got to line up 11 against 11, play football. That's what we did. The West Side came together as a brotherhood real quick.
And then any sort of game planning? Like, how did you, what was the plan to play defense against that group?
The plan is line up, play football. The reason you're here. That's really what the plan was the whole week.
All right, cool. A tackling machine for Camarillo High this year, Danny. Bryce Arnold.
A reporting machine you are, Joe. Hey, Joe Curley, thanks so much, man. We appreciate your work tonight.
No problem.
Joe Curley down on the sideline. The Deuce Derry Eads up with me. Anthony Placencia, our director and engineer. John Catalini and the entire team back in the studio. Been a tremendous season. Yet again, fun to come back and do this All-Star game. If you'd like to check in on an archive version of this, just head to vcstar.com. For my broadcast partner, Derry Eads, my name is Danny Page. The West prevails in the 42nd annual, 24-21. Good night, everyone. Have a great off season. We'll see you in the fall.